have to work harder than you think you possibly can. You can't hold grudges. It's hard. And it doesn't matter how you get knocked down in life, because that's going to happen. All that matters is that you got to get up.
He's heavy.
I know he's heavy.
I'm buying strength.
Then you negotiate with your body to find more strength, but don't you give up on me, Brock. You keep going, you hear me? You keep going, you're doing good, you keep going. Do not quit on me. You keep going.
It hurts.
I know it hurts, you keep going.
Those days when I'm tired or worn out or just basically sick of the grind, what do I do on those days? I go anyways. I get it done, even if I'm just going through the motions. I go through the motions.
Everybody's great when they're not tired. The champions is when they tired. That's when the real champions come out. That's when a real dog come out. Cause if you go like a puppy, stay on the porch and let the big dogs eat. Let them on the fucking field. Have some heart.
You keep going. It's all hard from here. 30 more steps. You keep going, Brock. Come on. Keep going.
Burn.
And let it burn.
Ours are burning.
It's all hard. You keep going, Brock. Come on.
I will never quit, because if you quit, you're done. You may still be alive walking around on this earth. I will never quit. I will persevere and I will thrive on adversity. My team expects me to be physically harder and mentally stronger than our opponents. I hold myself to that standard. I will be physically harder and mentally stronger than anything that comes against me, my family, my business, my brothers, my sisters, my team. I will be the one that is physically harder and mentally stronger, and I will work to maintain that position.
We can make it. We gotta believe, we gotta be mentally strong. When we tired, that's when we gotta put our fundamentals together. That's when we gotta be more focused.
Quitting guarantees the failure. Once you quit, it rules out any chance of succeeding. The mere waking up every day, putting the next foot in front of the next foot, at least keeps you in the game. And if God is waking you up continually every morning, once God wakes you up, that's a sign from God that He ain't through with you yet. That He has something more for you in store that He hasn't given to you yet. That's why you wake up every day, because God has more for you.
But I don't look at failure as failure. I look at failure as your first, second, third, fourth, fifth attempt. I look at them as attempts. I don't look at anything as failure. Because when you're going to try to do something, not trying is failure. That's not some after school special shit. But when you're able to go out there is no failure. It's attempts. Because when you're trying to do something that's bigger than you, whatever you are, whoever you are, if you're paralyzed, you're trying to walk one step and you didn't fail, motherfucker. That was your first attempt. If that's your biggest thing, that's how your mindset needs to go into everything. So I don't look at it as failure is a big word that gets people down. We give so much power to words. I don't. I take the power right away. I didn't feel shit.
Don't take today off. Not today. Wait until tomorrow. Don't give in to the immediate gratification that is whispering in your ear. Shut that down. Do not listen to that little voice. Instead, go through the motions. Lift the weights, sprint the hill, work on the project, get out of bed. Now, as an overall rule, I do not like procrastination. You need to get things done. But if you are going to rest, that is one thing that you should procrastinate on. That's the one thing I want you to put off until tomorrow.
I think if you want a certain outcome, it's going to take a certain amount of effort, and that's reality. If you want to build a multi-billion-dollar operation that changes people's lives, that's going to go down in history as one of the great iconic American companies, that's going to take a little bit more than living in your fucking van. Okay? And then there's levels in between. The ultimate lesson here is this. Everybody's on their own path. And I don't want to judge someone for wanting to be free and easy. I just want you to understand that there's a cost to that. And the cost that you're going to have to that isn't going to come until later.
There have been so many times in my life where I knew I needed to do something, and then I filled all this extra time not doing that thing. And then the moment I did it, I was like, wow, that took way less time than I thought it was going to take.
You just eliminate all external distractions, that's what's going on, and just focus on the process itself and enjoying it every single day. Chopping wood, carrying water. Greatness is not meant for a few chosen people. It's meant for those who persistently pursue their dreams every day and make that choice when they wake up. So just a mentality, really. As much as I would love to be up here and tell you guys all of what I'm thinking, I just know that the process itself is something I need to focus on rather than trying to appease anybody in here. The game itself is the most important thing. It's the object to win. So for the same thing that I was looking for when I was a kid, some type of inspiration. Aspirations come from people that do amazing things, but they're really ordinary people just waking up every day doing the little things that other people aren't doing. So
when you're in the fucking game, great things happen and really bad things happen, and you got to take it all in stride, and you got to pick yourself up the next day, strap your fucking shoes back on, and get out there and go to fucking war again. Listen, every day when you get out of bed, life's standing right there to kick you in the fucking face, man. Could be anything. Could be you get up and you walk downstairs, you got a fucking flat tire, and you're late for work, and you got this and that. Life is going to throw all kinds of crazy shit at you, right? And you have to be ready for it, and you got to fucking deal with it. You can't curl up into a ball. You can't run away from it. You can't hide. You have to take all this shit head on.
How did you get to where you are? You know how to do it. You know exactly how to be you or how to be me. You don't want to do it. So I can't make you do it. And nor do I have the time or energy to force you into that place that I know you have to be to do it. There's no luck in this game, man. There may be a little bit of luck, but the luck happens after you bust your ass and you put yourself in that lucky situation. Luck doesn't happen. You put yourself in that situation where luck might fucking happen. And that's what people don't know. But to get there, luck ain't gonna happen. You have to put yourself in that situation, man. It takes a lot of work.
Really, the truth is, most people need to shut the fuck up and focus on that version of themselves they want to become and actually be willing to become it. And that's what's ultimately going to create the fulfillment that you're looking for. It's not going to be your cold plunge. It's not going to be your morning routine. It's not going to be your journaling. It's not going to be your grounding. It's not going to be your granola lunch. It's not going to be you living in the fucking van. It's not going to be your therapy. It's going to be the work that you fucking do to become that version of yourself that is the exact version that you know you're supposed to become, and then being proud of it.
If you want to know something about yourself, sit on your bed one night and say to yourself, you got to mean this. Like, you got to be desperate. This is no game, this. My life is not everything I want it to be. And perhaps it's not everything that I need it to be. And by need, I mean my life is so unbearable that the suffering that's attendant upon that has made me nihilistic, cynical, bitter, resentful, homicidal, genocidal, unable to have a good relationship, prone to punish people for their virtues because of my jealousy, driving the proclivity to see evil everywhere except within my own heart. Like, these are problems, man. And you ask yourself, you sit on the bed and say, okay, man, I'm ready to learn something. Like, what's one thing I'm doing wrong that I know I'm doing wrong that I could fix, that I would fix?
It reads, it's all in your mind. Whatever you hold in your mind will tend to occur in your life. If you continue to believe as you have always believed, you will continue to act as you have always acted. You will continue to get what you have always gotten. If you want different results in your life or your work, all you have to do is change your mind.
The biggest risk to your future isn't your competition. It's the distractions you insist on keeping in your life, rather than doing the things you know you should be doing but aren't. People delay doing things they don't like for longer than it takes to do them.
It takes more effort to start in the beginning, and more people are right about the fact they're like, hey, you're not going to hit it big. And guess what? A month in, you're not. But they're only measuring on months. And at 6 months, you're also not going to hit it big yet. And they're going to be like, I'm still fucking right. And at a year, you're still not going to hit it big. And they'll still be fucking right. And every day that you haven't hit it, they're going to feel like they were right. But they're wrong. Because they're measuring in days and you're measuring in decades.
Dude, you know you're meant for more. You know you have the desire to achieve more. And so what's it going to take for you to start rewriting the story in your life? You can make as much money as you want. You can have as much freedom as you want. You can have as much opportunity as you want, but you got to go out and get it. Because I can tell you right now, every single one of you out there have exactly what you deserve.
How badly do you want it? Because you've got to pay a price to be the best. The best pay a big price. You've got to work harder. You've got to commit more. You've got to take more responsibility. You've got to deal with more ups and downs. And if we can deal with that question, how much are you wanting to suffer? They work enormously hard. They sacrifice enormous things in order to get that success.
So embracing the suck, it really is something that you have to tell yourself, because we don't want to embrace the suck. Not even me. I don't want to embrace the suck, but it comes down to a lot, man. Like, I'm all about trying to be the best leader I can. So through all these things in life, man, to be your best person, you have to find your best self. And to do that, you can't stay in a comfortable world. You have to be not always uncomfortable, but you gotta find a spot that's not so comfortable.
Confidence and fear both require believing in something that hasn't happened yet. At a certain point, you have to consider that you're choosing to be afraid.
Everybody has a turn back moment. You have a moment where you can go forward or you can give up. But the thing you have to keep in mind before you give up is that if you give up, the guarantee is it will never happen. That's the guarantee of quitting, that it will never happen no way under the sun. The only way the possibility remains that it can happen is if you never give up no matter what. Because God is always coming. He's never too late.
If your life was a movie, what would the key scenes be? I think that's important when you're looking backward. But a much better one, if your life was a movie and people were watching up to this point, what would the audience be screaming at the screen, telling you to do with your life? What would they be just It's fucking obvious. Leave the job. Leave the you need to get like it's your brother. It's the the fucking killer's hiding in the cupboard. Whatever it might be. What would the audience watching the movie of your life be screaming at the screen telling you to do?
Well, it's something I tell myself daily. So I make sure I do at least one thing every day that sucks. It could be for an hour. It could be for 2 hours. Sometimes it's for 10 hours. But every day I do something to strengthen the mind. We're all looking for this great mythical mental toughness. Mental toughness doesn't come from sitting on the couch. It doesn't come from wishing it would come true. It comes from putting in the work. And you have to start developing your mindset. Mindset is not developed by wishing. Mindset is developed by doing and actually putting into practice.
Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today.
Yes.
Because you need to have a hierarchy of improvement. You need to be aiming for something, and that means you're going to be lesser than people who've already attained along that dimension.
Yes.
And that can give rise to envy. So the question is, who should you defeat in the final analysis? And the answer is you should defeat your former self. You should be constantly trying to do that. And you're the right control for yourself too, because you're the one who's had all your advantages and disadvantages. And so if you want to compete fairly with someone, then you should be competing with you.
I think the best way to prove your value is to work, is to learn, is to absorb, to be a sponge. You always want to outwork your potential. As hard as you believe you can work harder than that.
If you're improving yourself, then what you are doing is competing with your lesser self. And then you might also ask, well, what is that lesser self? And that lesser self would be resentful and bitter and aggressive and vengeance-seeking and all of those things that go along with having a negative moral character. And those are things that interfere with your ability to progress as you move forward through life. So it's very necessary to understand that this is why, I've been stressing this idea of personal responsibility. It's like, well, personal responsibility is to compete with yourself, is to be slightly better than yourself the next day. Yeah. And it's better in some way that you can actually manage, and that's humility. It's right, like, well, I'm a flawed person, I've got all my problems. Could I be as good as person X? It's like not the right question. The right question is, could you be slightly better tomorrow than your currently flawed self? And the answer to that is, if you have enough humility to set the bar properly low, then you could be better tomorrow than you are today.
I think that mental health is the most important thing in the world, because the mind wants to have control over you. You need to have control over your own mind. So that's all about the mental health. Your mind's going to always guide you in a spot that wants to make you feel comfortable and nice and secure. And it's in those spots that there's no growth. Without friction, there's no growth. So that's why I constantly preach about you have to get outside that comfort zone to find that every day of your life.
But to me, it's whatever the moment or the situation demands. And I'm a bottom lines oriented kind of person. I have an assistant. I have people who work for me. I have people who work with me. They'll tell you I'm very bottom line kind of guy. If you tell me that the job is going to get done, and the job is going to get done in an excellent fashion, and it requires 90% effort, I'll let you go with that. I'll let you get away with that. I'm not going to sweat it. But if this requires 100% and you give me 99, I might want to fire you. Because I'm about getting the job done. Sure. It's about the results. And I think that, unfortunately, when we look at our generation today, not enough people preach about that. You know,
Why do you think that is?
Because I think that we live in a society where people have become masters of pointing the finger at other people about reasons why things don't get done.
When I retired from the game, I sat there asking kind of all the wrong questions. You know, what's the biggest industry I can get into? It's all the wrong stuff. And you gotta sit there and ask yourself, okay, what am I truly passionate about? What do I enjoy doing? And when you feel that way, honestly, you feel like you've never worked a day in your life. It's the most fun thing in the world. You get up in the morning excited about what you're doing. And you gotta be really honest with yourself about it. You wake up in the morning and you're dreading going to work, dude, do something else. Do something else. And those are hard decisions to make, but when you make those decisions, it's a very liberating experience, and you find out that the rewards will come. People struggle to do things alone, and the path of the exceptional person is one of an exception, which means that you are not with other people. And rather than fighting that or bemoaning it, see it as an indicator that you're on the right path. Because if everyone else were cheering you on, then it means you're not in the right place, because it means you're just like everyone else, and that's not where you want to be.
Judge yourself against no one but yourself. There is you're racing against no one but yourself. And when you continuously think that when you compare yourself to other people, you are losing the race. And like, this race is you against you, man. So don't get caught up in all this bullshit out here, the social media. This is where I'm at, this is what I'm doing, this is how great I am. Fucking leave all that shit behind, man. Worry about yourself, worry about what you're doing, and worry about where you're going, and only where you're going to be your best self.
I don't know, we'll see what happens, you know what I mean? Just keep positive and again, keep believing, keep training, keep trying to learn every day, trying to learn new every day. That's it. If the call comes, the call comes. Just believe in yourself. Believe that you're better than everyone else. You know what I mean? I always looking at fights, looking at anything else. I'm as good as that. Just believe in yourself and be cocky and be confident and be humble, train hard. That's it. Just believe in yourself.
You know, get in the car, get to the gym, get there, and as I'm walking onto the court, who do I see? I see Kobe Bryant, already working out. And I'm like, okay, it's kind of cool. It's Kobe. What's up, Kobe? You know? And, so I'm putting my sneakers on, and do you ever get lost in what you do where you end up like, wait, it's been an hour and a half? Like, I'm here, I'm in it. So once I set my foot across that line, I started working out. And so I worked out for a good hour and a half. And when I came off, after I was done, I sat down, and of course I still heard the ball bouncing. I looked down, I'm like, this guy's still working out. He was working out for like, it looks like he was in a dead sweat when I got here. And he's still going. And it's not like his moves are nonchalant, lazy. He's doing like game moves.
If you have to ask how to get motivated to go to the gym, you don't need to be going to the gym. You don't want it enough. When you're sick and tired of looking and feeling like shit, you'll show up, motherfucker. I'll see you there. Because you're going to look in the mirror and you're going to be like, fuck that. You're going to want to be in the gym. And if you're going to make this a lifestyle, you have to lower the barriers, make the gym cheaper, closer, training partners, exercises you like. And you have to raise the impetus, goals, inspiration, and a fucking goddamn real desire to be there. The people that have no problem showing up to the gym are the people that want to be there. And no amount of Rocky Balboa fucking movies are going to get you to that place. A lot of that is also built with the experience of having the gym be a
place where you get results by pushing yourself, winning little mini challenges, and having fun with it.
If your definition of success is win or lose, giving everything you've got and growing or learning along the way, then you're setting yourself up for success. I really think the biggest cheat code in life is just going after it and not being concerned of whether or not you fail at one specific task. Instead, understanding the big picture, what your long-term goal is, and knowing if you keep driving forward and never fucking quit, in the end you will succeed.
How would I know? I know that I am driven. There's a zillion things that have happened to me in my life. I don't know which one it is, but we create these narratives around it to believe it. And I'm bringing this kind of conceptual idea because right now many of you are creating stories that you tell yourselves to make yourself feel better about why your product isn't as good as it should be, but you have an excuse that only you need to believe. And you believe that excuse, so it excuses you from working harder on the stuff you know you should be doing but aren't. And that work, the work you know you should be doing but aren't, is the opportunity, because that is the work that your competitors also aren't doing.
I sit there and I unlace my shoes and I'm like, I want to see how long this goes. So I sit out there and watch 25 minutes. And he got done. I said, okay, I think I've seen enough. Go play, come back, get in the sauna, get ready for the game. That game, he drops 40 on us. Okay? And after the game is over, I'm like, I have to ask this guy. Like, I have to understand, like, why he works like that. Right. So after the game is over, I'm like, hey, Kobe, like, why were you in the gym for so long? He's like, because I saw you come in, that it doesn't matter how hard you work, that I'm willing to work harder than you.
The value of values. What are values? All right, values are fundamental principles. They're emotional and intellectual guidelines, beliefs that we have for ourselves, beliefs that we can rely on in a pinch when we're lost, frustrated, and confused. Values govern our daily interactions. They define our expectations, not only of ourselves, but usually of what we expect others to do as well. That doesn't always happen. But coming up on Dad's Day, I was asking myself, what's a value that I learned as a child that has really helped me become the man I am today and pursuing to be? And the one that I remember the most, it was preached to me by my dad, is this: don't half-ass it.
I have a resume full of fucking motivation. That whenever I'm down, I'm like, oh, hang on, motherfucker. Oh, you know the truth. You know the truth. You know the darkness of the fucking dungeons and the fucking demons that fly. You know. And then from there, it's like, okay, you were there. You know this. There was no one there to pick up the rucksack, to pick up the boat, to pick up the log, to go in there. It was you. It was you. There was no pat on the fucking back at 300, at 275, at 250, at 220. No, that was you. So those things that come out of me, that extract from me in the darkness, people are looking for that pat on the back. Where is it? Oh, I don't need it. Because what I've done is in the fucking unseen work, I built Frankenstein. So whenever shit gets nasty, David Goggins goes, you had nobody anyway, motherfucker.
Regret doesn't grow from there. Because you left it all there. You're the best you could have been in that moment. That's all you ever can be in every moment of life. But very few, if any, ever do that moment by moment, the carpe diem, and live it all for the most. You guys can control that. There's moments you can take it easy. You can pick and choose what moments you want to do. If you're watching a movie or sitting on the couch, whatever else, you can chill at those moments. Don't fucking chill on the moments that actually create your legacy. Give it all there. And then the belief and the dreams just lives forever. And by the way, the best dreams in the world aren't the ones seen when sleeping. The best dreams are the ones lived.
And so when you talk about changing the thought process, that's the real work. Now that takes a real level of strength. They smile every single day, but their actions are the same, their words are the same, their thought process is the same. You got people that's been complaining about the same job for 60, 50, 40, 30 years. Come in every single day and complain. When I played ball, I had a rule. Like, bro, we ain't complaining about nothing that we're not willing to change. Right? If you complain about it, cool, complain. But we're not complaining about nothing that we're not willing to change. So if you state how you feel about it, you got to be willing to do the work and change your thought process, the words, and the way you speak about it. Right? You got to be willing to do the work. You can speak about it all day. The easiest thing in the world to do is to complain, blame, and quit and settle. That's the easiest thing in the world to do. But it takes real work to deconstruct and to reconstruct the thought process and the mindset of an individual when they're trying to change something.
No one's gonna fucking come to help me. No one's gonna fucking come to help me. It's fucking me against me, period. And so I had to man up. And I said, the first thing I gotta start doing is facing every fucking fear I have. No matter what the fuck it is, man. And these things would keep me up at night. No one, people who are hearing this, they will never really understand and grasp when you face these things and so many things, how they keep you up and haunt you at night to either be that 300-pound guy who sprayed for cockroaches and made $1,000 a month, or I can totally just sack it up and fail and fail and fail until I succeed. Something in you has to wake up. And usually the only person that can wake it up is you. Sometimes you can read a David Goggins book because I was all this shit and then a lot more fucked up. But if you don't have a little flame, you know, just barely, you're done. I can't light it for you. And that's the harsh reality of this life that I want to get across so fucking bad. You can watch me, you can watch you, you can watch fucking Rogan and Cameron Haynes, all these motherfuckers. You can go to Tony Robbins's fucking bullshit, do all that shit. Do all that shit. If you could keep going back and keep spending money and spending money and spending money with no results, you can wonder, wow, maybe let me go try out David Goggins. He ain't gonna fucking help you. You have to explore, examine the insides of yourself. And what do you really want out of life? Your friend and a lot of people out here just don't fucking want it.
So people always ask me, when they saw me in the gym in the pumping iron days, they said, why is it that you're working out so hard? 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day, and you have always a smile on your face. The others are working out just as hard as you do, and they look sour in the face. Why is that? And I told people all the time, I said, because to me, I am shooting for a goal. In front of me is the Mr. Universe title. So every rep that I do gets me closer to accomplishing that goal, to make this goal, this vision turn into reality. Every single set that I do, every repetition, every weight that I lift will get me a step closer to turn this goal into reality.
God is processing you. He ain't through with you. If he was through with you, you would not wake up in the morning. He gonna fix it. Everything is wrong. First of all, let me tell you this right here. Why are you tripping? I look back on my life and all that I've been through. So the stuff I'm currently going through, I have built up enough reservoir that living in the car taught me that this ain't it. So the things I'm going through now, I know this ain't it. That he gonna come get me in a minute. People think when you get famous or rich that your problems is over. Oh, they got a whole new set of them for you. They got some stuff you ain't seen. Biggie wrote a song, said one time, more money, more problems. I gotta tell you something, that boy was never lying. But I tell you the truth right now, the problems I got right now, I take them. Cause the problems I had when I was homeless, I don't want them no more.
Boy, I can tell bad times are right around the corner again. I can tell by the emails I'm getting talking about I can't get a break in life. I hate that damn mentality, but I can't get a break. You aren't given any breaks in life. You make them for yourself. We are all being tested in life. While my test is different than yours, you will be tested. And how you face that test and how you overcome that test determines the rest of your life. The one mentality that you must have in life is that regardless of what's in front of you, you still must grind. I'll never be in the Olympics, I'll never be a professional athlete, but still I grind. I fail at most things I do, but still I grind. I don't want to do half the shit I do, but still I grind. And that one day, you see me down a dark alley, run at 1 o'clock in the morning, know one thing.
Those I can't catch a break guys, get them the fuck away from me. I can't be around those guys. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't buy it. Because everybody has bad breaks. I've had a shit ton of bad breaks. But you know what I did? I stayed up. And I thought through it. And I figured out what the fuck I did wrong. And then I went back. It's like, I fucked up everything I've ever done 100 times. There's no other way to do it. And I've had a bunch of shitty breaks. Everybody has. But you gotta realize when you have those shitty breaks what that is. It's an opportunity for you to reassess, reboot, get better, figure out another way, find another way through. It's just little challenges. And the people that look at those challenges and go, why do I always have these challenges? They're cancer. Those people are dangerous to be around. They will rob you of your enthusiasm. They don't give you any fuel. They're the opposite of fuel. Like the fuel people, they're the people that are kicking ass. The people that are out there just fucking hustling, always getting things done.
So if you are dreaming big dreams and you have clear goals and you accept total responsibility and you're doing what you love to do and you're getting better and better at it, remember, excellence is a journey, not a destination. It's not a goal at which we arrive any time in life. We just keep working and keep working and keep working. There's a story about Ted Williams when he was the top baseball player in America, one of the highest paid, best batting averages, and so on. At the end of a doubleheader, everyone had gone home. The park was empty. And the park maintenance man was out cleaning up. And way out there with an automatic ball machine, there was a batter just slugging away at the balls. And he came out and he looked at him. He said, geez, he said, you're Ted Williams. He said, yes. He said, pleased to meet you. He said, what are you doing here? All the other ball players are back at the hotel and having parties and everything else. He said, well, I'm practicing. He said, but